Hey. Let me see if I'm live. I am having some technical difficulties. Y'all bear with me. Why? Hello. Testing. Just trying to see if you can hear me. If you're in the stream, let me know you can hear me. Hi, Tara. Hello. Okay, I hear myself now. Hey, Tara, thank you for jumping on, girl. How are you doing this evening? It looks like. Let me know, Tara, if I'm freezing up. Look like maybe my internet is not working well this evening, and look like I'm a little frozen, and the the video ain't looking good. So let me know how I'm looking, Tara. Yeah, it looks like on my phone I'm not looking too good. Uh, Seems like I'm sounding okay, but the look is not that good. So, but thank you all for joining on. I'm gonna go ahead and push through. I'm actually not gonna be on here very long. Normally on my monthly podcast, this is actually my stream for my podcast. Every month on the 15th, I have set that day aside to have a podcast. And during my podcast, I have special guests that come on to the broadcast with me and talk a little bit about their industry in the financial industry. We all know finances is so many different aspects of finances. And since it's the beginning of the year, I thought that January, February, March, we would talk about taxes. So last month, January 15th, I had a business tax professional, Miss Kiana Wright, came on, and she gave us some fabulous information about being tax ready in your business if you're a business owner. So if you did not catch that episode, please go back on YouTube, honey. Check out my YouTube page, Money Management Matters, and all the broadcasts are there. I'm also going to be streaming on most most of the major podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, Podbeam, and a few more. I'm still working on getting that in place. I do have about 3 or 4 of the episodes are on Podbeam. That's Podbean, Podbean, where you can catch the audio of all my podcasts I've done so far. So for the month of February, I had a guest scheduled to come on with me tonight, but unfortunately, we had to reschedule. So she will be on with me next month, March 15th, March 15th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look forward to my next broadcast where I will have a guest on board with me she's going to be talking about bookkeeping for your business, something that you should be doing throughout the year to make sure you are ready at tax time. The better books that you keep, the better records that you keep, all the receipts that you keep, the mileage that you keep, uh, you're going to be better off come tax time. So I have her on next month, March 15th. So look out for that. So tonight, since she couldn't be on, I'm flying solo. So I'm just going to be on here for just a few minutes and give you just a few tax tips that I know of. I do not specialize in taxes. I do my own taxes, but I don't do other people's taxes, nor do I claim to be the expert. So, but being in the financial industry, I do come across some articles and information that I thought would be noteworthy to share with you guys tonight on this podcast broadcast. Okay. So, first of all, let me just ask you, who is expecting a refund for this year? Now, I remember as a youngin in the financial industry, before I started learning more and more and went back to school, got my MBA in finance and accounting, and started really learning the knowledge of money, how money works, and that includes taxes. Did I realize that getting a tax refund at tax time is really not the best use of our money? Believe it or not. I remember having the excitement of knowing, around about February, March, I would be getting a big refund because I had children. You can get your child tax credits, and if you had small children, up to about the age 14, whatever, you have them in daycare. And if you had a daycare bill, then of course you was able to write off some of your daycare expenses. So that was another advantage of uh, of getting a lot of money back at tax time. But as I have gotten older and my children are older, I don't get those tax breaks or those tax credits anymore. I started researching, well, how am I going to continue to get a tax refund? Well, little did I know, we really should not be getting a tax refund. We can get one, of course, but that's really not the most advantageous use of our money. In all reality, we should be getting more money, more of our hard-earned money that we work for if we are W-2 earners. Let me just clarify. If you are a W-2 earner, you work for an employer and you get taxes taken out of your check every pay period, then you really are, or if you get a refund, then you are giving too much money to the government at during the year. Okay. Does that make sense? During the year. So that results from not correctly filling out your W-4 form. You know, that form that they make you fill out when you work for someone else. That form tells them how much taxes to take out of your check. A lot of people will only put maybe one person or zero zeros all through there, or 111 all through there. And when you do that, you get a limited amount of money in your check. The government, the taxes, you get more money, more taxes taken out of your check, the less exemptions you have. Now, if you are uh, in reality wanting your money now, when you work for it, you want your hard-earned money in your hands at the time you working for it, then you should be claiming all your exemptions that you can on your W-4. And that could be yourself, your spouse, your children. If you run a business, if you have a business, you can claim that, and several other things that you can claim. So, like I said, I'm not an expert, but I do know these little facts here. So, if you want to get more money in your check during the year, which I decided that's what I would do, because that money that you are giving in taxes, that same money you could be using to do several things during the year. You could be using that money to invest yourself. Because let me give you this little tip. This is another tip. The money that you're giving to the government, the money that you're paying in taxes, they're using your money to do whatever the government does, to run the government, to invest in stocks and bonds, to send over to other countries, or all this money that the government spends every year, our hard-earned tax dollars, right? But if in reality, if you're thinking about your own financial well-being, you should be taking that money yourself every pay period and doing other things that would advantage you and your family, like investing yourself, investing in stocks, investing in real estate, investing in mutual funds, investing in your retirement, investing in an insurance policy. Oh, I forgot to let you all know at the beginning of this broadcast that yes, that is one of the number one things that I do, is I make sure that families are sufficiently covered in life insurance. Life insurance is not just for death anymore. Life insurance is for living benefits, okay? Life insurance is a area you could use to save money in for future use, for your retirement, for children education, for home ownership, and the list goes on and on. So that additional money in your paycheck every pay period could go toward a life insurance policy, a savings vehicle, your retirement, Roth IRAs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, all these different things. A second thing that you can do with that additional money in your paycheck from your taxes is paying off debt. If you are heavily in credit card debt, you're heavily into loan debt, if you have a car payment, if you have a mortgage, any type of debt loans that you have, that additional money that you could be getting throughout the year, you could put toward that debt. You can make an extra car payment. So instead of a 5-6 year loan, you could bust that down to 3 years if you make two payments. You can also put that extra money towards your mortgage. If you make an extra mortgage payment, I think you can bust a 30-year mortgage down to 20 years. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can use that additional money instead of waiting until January, February, March and getting a tax refund, when it's a psychological thing too. It's a mind thing. If we get, and this been proven, there's some statistics, but I don't know what the statistics are, but I know it's true because I did it myself, okay, when I didn't know no better. But when we know better, we do better. So, psychologically thinking, when we get, and the most of us, if we had children, we probably got anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 back in a tax refund, correct? Correct. So, when we do that, we all automatically think, oh my gosh, I got some money coming at the beginning of the year, and I'm going to make all these plans of what I'm about to do with this money, right? We got our shopping list made out. We got our what store we going to hit up. And look, one year I used my refund for a brand new car, a down payment on a brand new car. I already had the dealership picked out and been by there and saw how much I need to put down, and I had the whole thing planned out. And that little hot $3,000 was gone in a hot second. Now, now that I think back on it, I'm thinking I could have used that $3,000 throughout the year for so many other things to pay down the credit card debt that I was in, right? So if you think, you change your mindset, change your thought process to, do I really want to have a lump sum of money at one time that I'm going to spend carelessly, you know, or do I want to get my money throughout the year, every pay period, when I can use it right then and there instead of letting the government use it? Make sense? Another thing that you can think about, if you do get a tax refund, what do you plan on doing with that tax refund? Like I said, most of us have our plans to go shopping. Yep, we plan to go shopping with our tax refund. But I want to make a suggestion. Oh my goodness, this internet is getting on my nerves. I want to make a suggestion that instead of wasting, throwing away, going shopping, maybe purchasing something that you really don't need, use the money for something that's going to enhance your financial situation. For instance, if you are in a whole lot of debt, you could use your tax refund to pay off some debt. Now, one year I did do that. I did that for some years, especially at Christmas time. Y'all know back in December, I talked about spending a whole lot of money on Christmas gifts and the reasons why that might not be the best thing to do, especially if you had not planned for the spending. But if you found yourself spending money for Christmas on credit cards, then yeah, use your tax refund to pay off those credit cards. If they are small cards, 500 up to $1,000, and you're getting $1,000 back, go ahead and pay that credit card off. Go ahead and pay that debt off, because that's one less thing that you have to worry about. Another thing that you can do with your tax refund that's going to be advantage to your financial situation, if you have if you don't have, let me put it this way, if you do not have a emergency savings set aside. Now we know 2020 what happened, and we know in our hearts of hearts, if we were not prepared for the whole shutdown, we know we probably should have 6 to 12 months worth of monthly income saved, tucked away somewhere that we can get to in case of emergency. And I would say 2020 was an emergency. It was an emergency. So if you did not have an emergency fund set aside, use this tax refund that you're getting toward your emergency savings fund. Stick it away somewhere. I always tell my clients, open up a separate savings account at a bank that's not easily accessible to you. Open up the account. Do not get a debit card. Do not get an ATM card. Put the money there and leave it there. Set it and forget it. Okay. Y'all ever heard that saying, set it and forget it? Set it and forget it. And that'll be your emergency savings. And you will only access that money if it's an emergency. And the emergency has got to be something like you losing your job, or you're sick and you can't work, or we had a natural disaster. You had a tornado and the roof came off, and you had damages that maybe insurance didn't cover. It has to be a true emergency for you to tap into those funds. But go ahead and set that tax refund aside for emergency fund. This is a perfect time to start one. If you have not had the money in the past and you have it now, use it. Everybody should have an emergency savings account. Okay? So that's the second option. A third option that you can use now, one other little secret and tip on your taxes. And I think we touched on this a little bit last month, but if not, I'll repeat it. If you are a 9 to 5 wage earner, you're W-2 wage earner, and you don't have any children, maybe you don't have a house for tax deductions, you don't have a lot of tax deductions, so you may actually wind up owing taxes. Just depends on how you filled out your W-4. But if you do get a refund by chance, you might have did some charitable contributions that you can write off. It's a whole lot of stuff you can write off. But this thing right here, you can write off, a lot of people don't know, is a home-based business. Okay. Now let's see. Tara's on here with me. She has a home-based business, I believe, and so she can attest to this. A home-based business gives you 1,000,001 more. I'm exaggerating, but gives you so many more deductions that you can take on your taxes. If you have a home-based business, you can deduct a portion of your home, a portion of your internet, because you have to use your internet to conduct your business. You can deduct a portion of your cell phone, because you have to use your cell phone to conduct your business. You can deduct mileage, your car, what else? Computer equipment, and oh gosh, it's so many things. I don't want to list, all of them, because again, I am not a tax expert. Just let y'all know. These just some tips that I've learned from my experience. Okay. You can write off all these things on your taxes, which will lower your tax liability, which you can get a refund or not have to pay any taxes. So if you do get a refund this year, take that money and invest in a home-based business. Start you a business. I'm going to tell you, ever since I started my business, I have not only learned so much about the business world, but learned about these tax deductions, learned that the government, our government, gives more to business owners. They give more tax breaks to business owners. They give more tax deductions to business owners. I just listed off 5 to 10 of them right there, and there's many more. So having a home-based business is one of the most, the biggest way to save in taxes. Let's see. Tara's over here giving some tips too. She says space, electric, gas, your space, you can write off all that. You can write off your electric, write off your gas, the space that you use in your home for your home office. She said, yes, definitely. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Set it and forget it. Yep. That's set that emergency savings account for sure. Set it and forget it. So listen, get you a home-based business. Decide, and I have talked about this all the time. That's all falls under multiple streams of income. Okay. We cannot continue to depend solely on our 9 to 5 anymore. Not only because we could have another pandemic and all the businesses get shut down, but because these businesses ain't loyal. Okay? A business will close down on you in a hot second and you might not even know it. And you'll be out of a job. And what do you have to fall back on? We have to have a fallback plan. And that fallback plan is your home based business. What is it that you like to do? Think about that. And I've talked about this a lot too. Actually, I think I talked about it Monday. I talk about God a lot and how God gave me this business. He gave me this vision. He gave me this purpose of what he wanted me to do on this earth. I feel like God gives everyone a vision, a purpose, something that they are good at, something that they're skilled with. What is your skill? What is that hobby? What is that thing that you love to do? But you're trying to figure out how to really use it on earth or use it as service to others. Anything that you like to do, just figure out a way to monetize it. Give it a name, give it a business name, get you an EIN number, register your business at the Secretary of State, and have you a home-based business. Get these tax deductions that the government gives to all the businesses in the United States. Okay, be a part of that. So that's 3 things that you can do with your tax refund. So what are y'all gonna do with your tax refund? Are we gonna waste it? Are we gonna throw it away? Are we gonna go give it to Walmart? Are we gonna go to the mall and go shopping? Let's not keep making the same mistakes year after year after year. Tara said, honey, they will let you go so fast. Having your own business is something to have right about now. Okay. Tara said, a mouthful, honey. Owning your own business is what you need right about now. I think the whole pandemic, the whole 2020 thing is an eye opener. It was an eye opener, and it was God telling us we got to do better. We need to do better. We need to be owning something of our own. I talk about assets all the time. Assets is something that we own that belongs to us, that's growing money, that's growing wealth, that's something that we can leave for our children and their children's children. Stop depending on the government. Instead of depending on the government, take what the government gives out to us. Okay. Y'all wonder why the wealthy people, the Trumps of the world, don't have to pay no taxes? Because they own businesses. They own businesses. Okay. They own real estate businesses. Real estate, in case you didn't know, is a business. Anybody that owns homes, they own hotels, they own strip malls, they own all these type of properties. It's a business. They do that for business, and they get tax write-off. They get to they know the tax laws, or their accountants know the tax laws, and they get them all the deductions, all the credits that business owners get. Okay, so let's take advantage of it. Let's take advantage of it. Get you a business, honey. Get you a business, and let's get on with what everybody else is doing. So that's all I have for y'all. I didn't want to keep you too long. I just wanted to give you those few little tips to do with your tax refund. It's tax time, so go ahead and get your stuff together. Get you a good tax preparer. Ask questions, you know, ask some of the questions that, ask them about some of the deductions that I just told you. Ask them, ask your tax preparer about having a home based business and how it will help you in your taxes every year. Ask them about the W 4 and how it should be filled out with more exemptions so that you can get more money during the year. So you can use that extra money during the year toward your financial situation instead of the government using your money for their financial situation. I'm just saying, we got to do better. The more when we know better, we do better. And we got to get knowledge. We got to get this knowledge and look, apply the knowledge. Apply the knowledge. Okay. So that's all I got right now. Thank you all who joined me on the live broadcast. If I have any replay watchers on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and hit me with a hashtag replay. Let me know you came through so I can properly thank you. And listen, let me scroll this across here right quick. If you have not been over to my YouTube page, go ahead and go over to YouTube, Money Management Matters, and subscribe to that channel so we can build that page up, because soon I'm going to be doing all my broadcasts on YouTube and have more content for you guys over there. And also, if you have any questions about your taxes, about setting up an emergency savings fund, about starting a business, about just starting better money management skills and tips, get in touch with me. Let's schedule a chat. You can schedule a chat with me at bit.ly.com/money moments. Okay. That is the link to schedule a consultation with me. I would love to speak to you about your money situation. If you do not have a life insurance policy, that is my specialty. I'm a licensed life insurance agent here in the state of Georgia, and I offer all insurance policies, all types of policies. I can talk to you to see what your needs are. If you already have a policy, that's great. Let's see if it's the sufficient type of policy that you need. And let me just tell you this: the policies that you have at your employer is just that, your employer policy. Okay. When you leave that job, if you get fired or you quit, that policy goes away. So it's always best to have a separate policy outside of your job that you can get from me and in many insurance companies to have for a lifetime. So get with me if you don't have life insurance, and we can talk about how to make sure that's in place for you as well. So again, I am Lisa Stringer Bailey, owner of Triple M Money Management Matters, and I'm here to help you make more money, save more money, and protect that money. So until next time, next month, I will do another broadcast for the Money Management Matters, the podcast, March 15th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So stay tuned for that. Check in back with me. And I hope and pray that the tips I gave you were helpful. And like I said, if you do want to have a chat with me, go ahead, get on my calendar at www.bit.ly.com/money moment. All right. So you all have a great rest of your evening. Thank you for tuning in, and see you later.